Hey guys, it's Harrison here, and today we're going to talk about ferrets! So this is a pretty requested video, and so here I am giving the people what they want, and today we're going to be talking about what to expect when getting a ferret, ferret care, and all that jazz. Get out of here! Bruce is really hyper right now. So he's more the playful one. She's playful too, but she just kind of likes to snuggle. So, hi, thank you. So what I really want to get out of this video is to educate people and to stop people from buying ferrets on a whim, because ferrets get abandoned a lot, and it's because people don't really know how to take care of them. People don't know what they're getting into when they buy one, because I just put moisturizer on, so I don't want her to get sick from it. You go to a pet store and you're like, oh my gosh, look at that cute little thing, like what is that? Because that definitely got me to buy one. But I did a lot of research after I got them. Well, after I got her first. So I did a ton of research on it and made sure that I could take care of her the best way that I could. So when you first go in to get a ferret, you have a few things to consider. You have the cost of the ferret and all the stuff that'll come with it. So when you're going to get a ferret, just realize that you're going to be dropping a lot of money at the beginning, but they're a relatively easy animal to maintain, and they're not that expensive. So I got her in Canada, and I got her in Maine, so I got her at Petco. First and foremost, I really want people to try to adopt first, because there's so many ferrets out there that need homes, and it's not fair. The owners were not prepared for them, and they have to pay the price by living in a shelter their whole life. So I wish, she's too squirmy, I wish I would have adopted, but I didn't do my research before, and in the future I will be adopting all my animals. So first and foremost, adopt, don't shop. So first things first is cost. So expect to spend about $150 on the ferret itself. So that's how much Sawyer cost in America. And then I also got Brutus at a pet store in Canada a little later, and he was $250 Canadian. So there's a discrepancy between the two places. So yeah, I expect to drop $150 on the ferret. So I got this cage. This was the cage that I got Sawyer with first. I actually upgraded the cage about a year ago or a few months ago. I like that cage way better. I think it's way more suitable for a ferret. Yeah, so ferrets need a multi-level cage. They need a lot of room to roam. So get the biggest cage that you possibly can. Ferrets, I cannot say this enough, are not rodents, and they cannot live in a rat cage or a hamster cage. Like, obviously they're much larger than a hamster. There it is. It's trying to get the camera. They need more room than a rabbit or a chinchilla or a guinea pig. So yeah, nice multi-level cage. So you're gonna probably spend, that was about 170 bucks. I think the one that I got is a much better deal. The new one that I got, it's a Ferret Nation cage. It's huge, it's so big. It's like, so that was about 200 and something dollars, which yeah, it's not cheap, but you only have to buy one, so why not splurge and give them the best place that they can have. So this is a ferret cube, but yeah, they like to sleep in it. So there's a lot of places for them to get into. It's enclosed, it's soft. It's great, so you just hang that up on the cage and they go to town. So you're gonna spend maybe like 20, 50 bucks on a bunch of hammocks. So I would get a bunch of them because you're gonna have to clean them, and they're gonna want something to sleep in while you're cleaning them. And then I put cat beds at the bottom of the cage. So something like this. So you're gonna spend like 15 to 20 bucks each on one of these. So I spoil them a lot, so I have quite a few of them. But so you're going to have to replace them eventually, but they last very long. I still have some beds from 2 years ago that are still great. So yeah, and then there's, you're gonna have to buy either litter, which probably goes for like 20 bucks a bag for litter. You're gonna wanna get a litter tray, which is like 10 bucks. And then, but I don't use litter boxes. Some people do. I don't. I think it smells bad and it just sits there. So I don't want to scoop. I don't want to do anything. So I use pee pads, and I'll show you guys how I do it. But I think it works a lot better. Hey babies. All right. So when I say they poop a lot, I mean they poop a lot. This is one night's worth. I changed these right before they went to bed. That's how much poop. And then I'll check their water, so I see where the carrot is, and then I'll check their food. Looks pretty good to me. You enjoying that, Spicy? Oh, hey Brutus. All right, so then I'll just get those cleaned up and then they're good to go. All right, and there we go. It's pretty easy. That's all you have to do. What is she doing? What are you doing? It's a ferret butt right there. Now, so ferrets, they can only eat protein. They can only digest protein. They cannot digest carbs, fruits, vegetables, anything. All they need is protein. If you give them anything else, it's going to be too hard on their system and it's going to cause them lots of health problems later on. Obviously, the cheaper food is going to have fillers like corn and all that stuff, so that's not good at all. In pet stores, they have ferret-specific things, like ferret-specific food. Like I know a huge brand is called Marshall's, and they have a ferret food that's about $22 a bag. It's quite a small bag actually. Origin Cat and Kitten, it's what I get them. It's organic cat kibble. And they love it. It's great for them. And I know that I'm giving them the best ingredients that they possibly can have. And I also want my animal to be healthy and happy, so that's why I do it. But there's some ferret treats out there that are like grape ferret treat, raisin ferret treat, banana ferret treat. That's terrible for your ferret. And I don't know how companies get away with selling things like that, but just be careful. You have to feed them only protein. So I usually spend on their cat food. So it's a huge bag. It's like this big, like that big. Ooh, Brutus. So that's that big, and it's probably about $60, $70 a bag. And that usually lasts me because like they're little, like they're not as big as a cat, but there are 2 of them, so maybe it adds up to maybe about 1 cat. But 1 bag will last me a long time. I bought my last bag in like December and I'm still like over half of the bag. Or I don't know if anybody else has a ferret and has experienced this, so if you have, comment down below. But every time that I give my ferret unfiltered water, they have diarrhea. It's so weird. They are such prima donnas. So they like the finest Fiji water. She loves it, right? Right, Tracy? Thanks. But yeah, so that's kind of what you need to know is like the costs. So those are the costs of the ferret. Do ferrets smell? Yeah, they smell. But I think any animal is gonna smell. A dog will smell, a cat will smell. If you take care of your ferret and you do, if you clean their bedding on a regular basis, you clean up their pee pads or their litter on a regular basis, and you give them good food, it's gonna diminish the smell. So I think the smell of a ferret really depends on how you take care of it and how on top of it the owner is. And I think that my ferrets, I think they smell fine. Any animal, if you go up to them and you give them a smell, they're gonna smell like an animal. But it's definitely manageable. If you take care of them, they're gonna smell fine. Another thing about their smell is that people are like, oh, I'll just give them lots of baths, they'll be fine. Do not give your ferrets multiple baths. Like do not frequently bathe your ferret. Hey! Stop it. Think of your ferret like a cat. So they have like the tongues that cats do, like the scratchy little tongues, and they clean themselves. So they're actually quite clean animals. I don't remember the last time I gave them a bath with shampoo. But obviously if they get into something sticky, if they get really, really dirty, you're gonna throw them in the bath. So yeah, so just make sure you have ferret friendly shampoo. So this is Ferret Sheen. I haven't used it yet actually. But I just know that it's gonna be gentle on their skin. But I would only bathe them if they absolutely need it. So some people bathe their ferrets like once or twice a year. That's fine. Don't have a weekly bath for your ferret because it's going to irritate their skin. It's actually going to strip the oils from it, and it's actually going to make them smell worse because they're going to produce more to compensate for what they've lost. So yeah, don't bathe your ferrets that much. Also, so that's kind of like a grooming thing. So another grooming thing is that you're going to need to clip your ferret's nails about every 2 weeks. So this is what a ferret nails look like. As you can see, he's grabbing my hand right now. But yeah, they're pretty long. So you're gonna obviously make sure you see the red part here. You're gonna make sure you don't cut that because that's the quick and that'll make them bleed. I always drop that light. Brutus, stop, please. Sorry, Brutus moved the camera, so the consistency of the camera angle is off. Thanks, Brutus, you're ruining everything. Just make sure you do tutorials. I did a YouTube tutorial on how to clip nails, and I watched a YouTube tutorial on how to clip my ferret's nails before I did it, so. When you're considering a ferret, how much are they? What kind of things you're gonna have to buy. So those are kind of the things that you're gonna need to buy. And then the next thing is, how much time do ferrets need? How much do they need for you to take care of them? So ferrets sleep like 18 hours a day. So that's nuts. They're not considered nocturnal or nocturnal because they sleep so much. Thanks. So they're great pets for somebody that's on the road a lot, and that's me. I don't have a lot of time to come home and let a dog out. I don't have a lot of time to devote to a cat. So ferrets are great. They sleep the entire time you're gone, so you don't have to feel guilty. But what they really need, they need about 1 to 2 hours a day of interaction and playtime. Or free roam time. So some people keep their ferrets in cages the whole time. Some people let them free roam their house like a cat. I do like kind of a mixture of both. So what I do is I leave my ferret cage open. I leave them in a room and close the door to the room. So the cage is really kind of just a place for them to sleep, a place for them to have their food and their water, but they free roam around the room the whole time. So they're not rodents. Like I said before, they cannot just live in a cage like a hamster. They need free roam because they are not rodents, they're mustelids. So that's like the otter, the skunk, the wolverine family. So they're hunters. They actually eat rodents. So they need a lot of like stimulation and they need some free roam time. So what I mean by interaction, you don't need to spend 2 hours just playing with your ferret. Spend some time playing with them, playing with their toys. So they're like a mixture of a cat and a kitten. So they like to play with squeaky toys. Like I'll throw it, they'll chase it. They like to play with the dangly cat toys that they will chase as well. So they just kind of like to have like the hunter instinct, and you need to simulate that. So get like animal shaped toys, and they'll hide it in their den and get things that squeak because they like the thrill of it. When you're letting them out in a room and you're letting them run around in the outside of the cage, you have to be careful. You have to really ferret-proof the room that they're in. So what I mean by ferret-proof, I mean you're gonna look at the walls to make sure there's no holes for them to get into. You're gonna make sure the vents are closed solid, like on the ground, so that they can't lift it up and go in because you're gonna lose them. They explore, they're mischievous, they like to get into whatever they can get into. So I think that ferrets get into trouble when owners don't proof the room carefully. So yeah, just make sure there's no food around for them to get into, especially anything that's like a carb or whatever they can't eat, because they'll get sick if they eat it. I had Sawyer got under an oven once and she ate something and was really sick, and I felt really terrible, and it really did teach me a lesson on ferret proofing and making sure that the environment is safe for my babies. The maintenance that you're gonna need to do is just check their water in the morning, check their food to make sure it's okay, and then I clean up their pee pads. And that's really their daily maintenance. And then once a week I'll clean their bedding out, and I'll throw it in the washer. So yeah. So they're great. I think they're amazing pets, and I just think that people need to really realize what they're getting into. Also ferrets, they have really tough skin. So whenever they play with each other, when they're younger, they bite them and they rustle and stuff. So when you get a ferret that's a baby, they're called kits when they're a baby. So when you get a ferret that's a kit, they don't know better than to not bite you. So you have to train them not to bite you and treat you like they would any other of their ferret friends. When they were playing with me, they bit my hands, and they have really sharp teeth. So yeah. So these are ferret teeth. They are pretty menacing, and if they get you, it hurts. So what I do when they're babies and they're learning how to play, if they bite you, this doesn't hurt them. This is how they were carried when they were babies. So don't be alarmed. But so ferrets have like a scruff. You grab them by their scruff, and you look them in the face, and you go no, and that's what you do, and you let them go. And you just have to stay consistent with it. Every time it happens, you have to do it, because if you only do it half the time, how are they gonna learn? So yeah, you just have to really train them. But that's really the only thing that I had to train them. They go on the pee pads by themselves. Another thing when you're ferret proofing is also realize that they're going to poop. So they have a defense mechanism where they will go poop in corners. So it's weird, but it makes sense, but it's actually a pretty big plus for us ferret owners, or ferrets as I like to say, is that you just put pee pads in every corner. So that's basically about it for ferrets. They're pretty great. They're perfect for me because I'm not always home. So I need something that that it's fair to have. It's not fair for me to have a dog. I don't think it's fair for me to have a cat, but I think it's fair for me to have a ferret. If you think that there's something that interests you, just realize that you're gonna have to put in a little bit of work, but it's worth it. So let me know, whoever has a ferret, drop it down below, or if you're thinking about getting a ferret and maybe this helped you. If you guys want me to do more of these, let me know as well, and I guess I'll see you guys next time. So be sure to subscribe if you liked it. Follow me on my social media accounts; they're down below. And yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching. Take care.